Okay, this night's going to be kind of an experiment to see how this new tarp shelter works out. It's going to be used later on in the year in November, so the temperature is not going to be as cold. Tonight, the temperature right now is 52 degrees right now. There we go. That's what I want. Well, this is camp, and this over here is the shelter I'll be sleeping in. I don't know if the headlamp is doing any good, but that is the shelter. Alright, well this is me in my shelter. I'm not all the way in yet, but hopefully my little headlamp is giving you guys enough light to see. If you can look out there, you can see there's my fire, and I'm in here, and this is where I plan to spend the rest of the night. I did realize after a while, after making this tarp, that the last time I made this design, I just stretched out the guy wire, the main guy wire that holds up the arch of the tent. I had stretched it farther behind me so that I had a little bit of a longer tent. Even though the tarp ended, I could have used my my poncho to extend the length of the coverage, but I kind of messed that up this time, so we'll see how it goes tonight. I don't know how that's going to work. But other than that, we're just going to try to keep the fire going, keep warm, and we'll see how this goes. Well, this is how I'm cozying up for the night. My wool blanket wrapped around me on my sleeping pad, and underneath my rigged up tarp with the fire behind me over there. So, it doesn't feel like it's going to be that cold tonight, but we'll see. I guess we're just going to be experimenting how this shelter works out and sleeping out in the under the stars solo. The first time I've slept solo, so or at least through the night. I've done a half a night solo, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. But the time is, well, you can see for yourself, 9:15. It's an early turn-in time for me, but I'm assuming I'm going to probably be up quite a bit tonight. We'll see, though. It's pretty comfortable right now. The fire's getting off a lot of heat, and doesn't feel like it's going to be too cold, so we shall see. Until then, good night. Well, I woke up because the fire had gone out, and it started getting a little chilly. I was doing pretty good until the fire went totally out, so obviously the fire was giving me a little heat, of course. That combined with the fact that it's probably getting a little colder out. I don't know what the temperature is. Let's see if I can find out here. Well, it's in the mid-40s at least. Something in the mid-40s. So, it's obviously time to get the fire stoked up again. But it's midnight and I've dozed a little bit. The sleeping position isn't the most comfortable. But, gotta get the shivers out now, so we're gonna try to get this fire stoked up a little bit. Well, I changed my direction in my tent, my shelter here. Got a pretty good fire going, and I can feel the residual heat coming right into the tent, right into the shelter. This does a good job of trapping the radiant heat from the fire. And now that I'm my head in, my feet out, it's really good actually. My legs are exposed, but the fire's warming them, and got my wool bush coat that I'm using for a pillow now, and still got the wool blanket on me, but the heat from the fire is enough to keep it comfortable, and I think I'm actually gonna try to get some sleep before this latest fire I built dies down. So it's 1 o'clock now. It's been an hour since the last time when my fire died. So this seems to be working out pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. Good night again. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock, and I'll tell you one thing about sleeping outside with minimal shelter and gear, such as a sleeping bag or whatnot, is that it's all about the fire. Although it's a good thing that's nearing morning, because my supply of wood is pretty much gone. I could go out and get some more in the woods, but all the really big pieces that I found have been used up, except for the ones that are in the fire right now. But it's all about the fire. As long as the fire was going, I was able to get a little bit of rest here and there. And in addition, the wool blanket I have adds another measure of comfort. It was good. Once I got that up wrapped around me and over my face, it kind of gets you in a comfortable enough mode to get a few winks in. But I guess I'll just wait for the sun to rise now, and we'll call it a night. Well, the sun has finally broken through the mist and the clouds, and we have blue skies smiling at us. Some things I've learned. One is that my wool blanket bush coat is a better pillow than my army fatigue shirt rolled up. Another thing is I need to make the guy line that runs the center line of my shelter. That needs to be stretched farther back so that I have a little bit of a higher shelter in the back and not so low in the back. And I think I'm going to try to make it just a hair higher too, so it's easier to sit in without having to like crouch down. And as Les Stroud says, when you think you have enough firewood, get 5 times more than you got there. But thankfully we got through the night, and it wasn't too bad. Although it never got really cold. I think it was down in the mid-40s at worst. So, okay, this is the new modified design. As you can see, I have in the back here, the opening is a little bit bigger, which may let a little more air in. But you could drape a poncho up underneath the tarp and extend your coverage back this way. Now everything is very quick release. Everything starts from a staked guy line going up the peak of the tent, and then a guy line coming down to this stake, holding everything taut. And everything is quick release. I just have a little slip knot with a post in there. One thing I did add was a little slip knot with a little peg in there to keep through the grommet here, to keep the tarp from sliding back, which it kind of tends to do. It gives me a little bit more headroom in there. I still have my little flap. Everything is staked down to the ground through the grommets like that, just to keep it all stretched out. And I still have my flap here, which allows me to close up my tent area ever so slightly.